So good morning, afternoon, good evening to each of you. I hope everyone's having a wonderful and dry day for those on the East Coast. Welcome to the Fall 2024 Duke Canvas Town Hall. Thank you for your time and attention today. My name is Michael, and I'm here with my colleagues Seth, Marty, and Anna. We're all from Duke Learning Innovation and Lifetime Education. We're part of the Canvas transition team. And we're here to give you an update on what's going on with Canvas this term. If you have any technical difficulties, please feel free to use the chat, and one of our team members will assist you. After today, there's two things to remember above all else, and they're both on the screen here. The first of which is the go.canvas.duke.edu website. That is your one-stop shop for all things Canvas here at Duke. And the second thing is the canvas@duke.edu email address. If you're ever in any trouble or have a question, feel free to reach out at that email address. We're going to talk about a lot of other ways to get support in the presentation today, but those two places are your first and last stop for all things Canvas. Our goals for today, we have three. The first of which is to provide you with some background information on the transition from Sakai to Canvas. We had a lot of folks use Canvas last academic year, but we also have a lot of new users this term. And so we also want to review the timeline and the status of the transition. And finally, we want to be sure that everybody understands the options that you have for getting support and training around Canvas this fall. As you've noticed, this meeting is being recorded, and we will be sharing that recording on the go.canvas website. You may also have noticed that you're not able to unmute yourself, so we're doing this kind of webinar style. And so we're going to have lots of time for questions at the end. So if you have any questions throughout the session today, please use the Q&A tool, and the team will be reviewing that. And if we're able to answer it in text, we'll do it during the session, and if not, we'll answer it verbally at the end. So let's talk about why we're leaving Sakai. Right, there were three primary drivers for why Duke moved away. The first of which is that Sakai is an open source, community-driven product, and that community has been declining for the past several years. And a few years ago, we felt that it had reached an unsustainable level, and it was putting the university at risk. And as fewer institutions remain on Sakai, then more of the burden for kind of evolving and growing that platform fell on the Duke team. The second point is that our Duke's needs are evolving, and we needed to look for a new platform that could accommodate things like new accreditation requirements coming out of the schools of medicine and nursing, for example. And the third primary driver was limits on third-party integration. So as the number of universities that use Sakai dwindles, so do the number of vendors that are willing to build an integration with Sakai, things like Gradescope and Zoom, those third-party external tools we all rely on. Fewer and fewer of those were willing to build an integration or maintain their integration for Sakai. That was a big issue. So why are we moving to Canvas? You'll find that Canvas is equal or better than Sakai for most teaching and learning related tasks. There are a couple of key reasons that we picked Canvas over other alternatives. The first of which is the largest learning management system, or LMS, provider in higher education. It's used by nearly all of Duke's peer institutions. It had already been adopted at Fuqua and the School of Medicine, and it is a platform that has continued to provide new tools and features to improve the teaching and learning experience. Here you'll see kind of a comparison showing that you can do pretty much everything in Canvas that you could do in Sakai. These are the most popular Sakai tools on the left and their equivalents on the right. We'll dive into the process for migrating Sakai sites and Sakai content to Canvas later in the discussion. But I want to highlight a couple of kind of specific features that we think are really, really important and really powerful. The first of which is SpeedGrader. So the SpeedGrader interface is far more powerful than anything you had in Sakai. You can view submission details for each student, including the resubmitted assignments. You could sort submissions by student, hide student names for anonymous grading. You can track your grading progress and hide assignments while you're grading. You can use rubrics, of course, and you can leave multimodal feedback. So if you were frustrated by the Sakai grading interface and you felt that maybe Gradescope wasn't quite the right fit for your assignments, you'll have a great new option with the SpeedGrader. Second key feature is native mobile applications. Canvas offers dedicated apps for students and teachers, and they bring the most important features for each role to the front. Here, you can see on the left, we've got push notifications, keep you updated on course status. In the center, showing the ability to create content from your mobile device, and on the right, even the ability to grade on a mobile device. The next key feature is around analytics and insights. We see these as a really big improvement over Sakai. You can view a variety of data as either an interactive chart or a data table, and so we're showing both options here. You can compare a course average with an individual assignment or a section or even a custom student filter. You can view weekly course participation. You can send a message to all students from here, or even pick individual students based on specific course grades or participation criteria. And you can view and download reports on missing later excused assignments, class roster, or course activity. I'm going to turn it over to Marty to talk about the current state of the transition.
So as Michael mentioned, Canvas is now the only LMS available for courses going forward. Sakai is still available to users, but you can't use it for active courses anymore. Sakai will remain available as is until June 1st of next year. Instructors or users, if they need certain information, they're expected to download copies of that before that deadline. If you are an instructor, you can request course content migrations, but that doesn't include certain information. So when it comes to the migration, we've got listed here on going to the gocanvas.duke.edu website and how to request migrations. And there are certain tools, which are the main tools that will migrate content over. It will move the data from the most heavily used tools. If there is an equivalent setting within Canvas, it will also set that as the new default in the Canvas site. And anytime that there isn't an equivalent, there will be what is called a page created in Canvas to let you know that this setting has changed because of X reason. Right now, instructors are able to request up to 5 migrated sites at a time. Ideally, instructors, if you've taught the same course over and over, you select the most recent version of the site or the one that has the content that you need to reuse and put that one in. So for example, if you teach Art 101 every term for the last 5 years, you most likely want to migrate the Spring 24 version because it has the most up-to-date information. We're not able to do wholesale migrations of everything that ever happened in Sakai. But we do understand there's a lot of value in past content. Maybe you have some content that's seldom used or unused, but you're not ready to lose it. In which case we can work with you on exporting some of that data out of Sakai and maybe storing it in a box, Google Drive, or whatever cloud platform that you decide to use. If you are planning to teach this fall, we do recommend putting in the migrations now, so that way you have time to review the migrated sites, make adjustments to the site, and then reuse that content into Canvas. And if you are new to Canvas, there will be a little bit of a learning curve. So we want to make sure folks are getting in and learning Canvas now versus say the first day or first week of classes. As mentioned, when we do the migrations, we create what are called change logs. So after you request a migration, one of our transition team members will reach out to you via email and let you know that the migration is complete. And if there are any things that we needed to change or that didn't migrate as clean as possible, we'll let you know in certain pages. Say here as an example, if there was a gradebook setting that was available in Sakai, but Canvas doesn't have it, we want to make sure the instructor has some time to go through and correct that before they start using it real course. And if you do find any errors, make sure to let us know at canvas@duke.edu. So here's an example of what a migration changelog looks like. On the left is the Pages tool within Canvas, and you'll see a couple of names there. So for example, the quiz changelog, we've labeled as important. There are some questions there. There's a certain question type that was in Sakai. Canvas doesn't have the exact same equivalent potentially, or it doesn't have the same exact setting. So like the fill in the blank had case sensitivity option. Canvas doesn't have that. We want to make sure the instructor goes through and corrects that in case that is a very important part of their question setup. You may need to go through and adjust the question to fit into the new Canvas platform. If you have any questions about that, this is going to be very verbatim for every single question, for every single quiz. Some quizzes like that are mainly made up of multiple choice will come across a lot more cleanly than if you say have some fill in the blank or some other type of questions a little bit more advanced than those type of questions. Next up is, will there be project sites in Canvas? The answer in short is yes. We call them collaboration sites. We do allow collaboration sites for only certain reasons, though. There are a lot of things that were happening in Sakai that ideally won't be replicated in Canvas. So that's why we have these certain use cases listed out here. And this is currently being reviewed and make sure we update this to kind of fit the needs of the Duke community. But there are examples sometimes where if you had a project site and it was mainly used for file storage, ideally we would move that over to either Box or Teams or something like that.
All right. And I get to talk about how will I learn Canvas. So all the training resources are available at go.canvas.duke.edu. Bookmark the site. That is going to be your entry point into all of the training you can find on Canvas. So there are several types of training. Next slide. That is available. The first one is the self-directed training. If you go to go.canvas.duke.edu and click for instructors, you will find self-paced training materials, short videos, and you can also sign up for Growing with Canvas site, which is a self-directed course through instructor Canvas company that will introduce you to how to do a lot of things in Canvas. We also have what is called the crosswalk information, which is a comparison between Sakai and Canvas features and tools. We also next week have our live Zoom workshops. So again, go to go.canvas.duke.edu and click on under events. So that will allow you to sign up for the workshops. We have 4 workshop series, and these ones are available on Zoom. The videos that we have on go.canvas follow the workshops. So if you want to brush up and learn some information before that, feel free to do that as well. We also have 2 in-person workshops. Next slide. Coming up. So Monday, August 19th, 11 to 12 p.m. If you're completely brand new to Canvas, we're going to try to condense some of those Zoom workshops in an hour slot just to get quick started.
I think we might have lost Anna. Seth, can you jump in?
Oh yeah, yep, sorry. Yep. Okay. So sorry about that. That's interesting. So yeah, so Anna was talking about the in-person workshops. We've got 2 next week on Monday and Tuesday. The first one is called Help, I'm Teaching Next Week. Quick Start with Canvas. As Anna said, if you're brand new to Canvas and you just need to kind of jump in and try to figure out the basics, we're going to really try to condense as much as we can into that 1 hour to get you started. And on Tuesday from 11 to 12, we're going to offer one called Taking Canvas to the Next Level. This is for folks who already have some Canvas experience, or you've gone through the training and you want to think a little bit more about how to improve your course site and make it a little bit more than just the basics. We also are going to be holding in-person office hours. This is where you can drop in, come by the link Classroom 5, those same 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, the 19th and 20th from 12 to 3 p.m. And there will be Lyle staff in place and available to help you. So you can kind of like have us look over your shoulder and show us things that you'd like us to help you with. No sign up is necessary for that, so just feel free to drop in. Okay, so we're going to give you a couple of pieces of information about what the process for creating a course in Canvas looks like now. So every semester, Canvas is going to automatically create course shells for every course that exists in Duke Hub. People worry about that. They say, what if I'm not using, what if I'm not teaching a specific course? Or sorry, that's not the right thing to say. What if I'm not using Canvas for a specific course? Will students see it in Duke Hub? The answer is no. They'll only see courses that are published inside Canvas. And important to note, oh, Anna's back. Anna, do you want to kick back in and take over?
I can, yeah. So just to clarify, so if you, for courses, to get a course in Canvas, if you teach a course in Duke Hub, then your Canvas will automatically create a course shelf for you for every course in Duke Hub. If you're you have to be an instructor of record in Duke Hub in order to be able to add people to it. And so if you're an instructor of record in Duke Hub, you'll be added to that course. If you're not, you won't be. Canvas has different amounts of publishing, and you can work on your course as much as you want. Only published courses are visible to students. So you can publish items in the course, but you have to publish the whole course for students, for it to be visible to students, and come to workshops, office hours, and we'll go over how to do that. We will also be sending out a link with how to do a lot of things. So sections and cross-listed courses can be combined. It is on our go.canvas website. It is also will be available in those links. So, Seth, do you want to take over that one? I think you were, or no, I think I'm still on. For course content, you can, as Marty mentioned, you can have the content migrated over from Sakai, or you can start building course sites in Canvas from scratch. If you come to any workshops, we'll also create a sandbox site for you to practice. So that is kind of the three ways. The third way is if you already build a site from previous years in Canvas, you can migrate that over to your new site. And again, we can show you how to do that. Please come talk to us. We're here to help.
Okay, so this is me. Sorry about the technical snafus, folks. It's a weird weather day. All right, so we want to talk a little bit about ways that you can organize content in Canvas. And through some extensive research and discussions with other universities, we've developed sort of a best practice for organizing courses through the Canvas modules tool. The goal here for us was to help you make it clear to students what they need, when they need it, and to enable them to move through the course in a clear, logical, and organized manner. And our workshops and self-paced instruction all include information on how to set up your course with this best practice of using modules in mind. So to take this a little further, we did a survey of students last year to ask them about their experience using Canvas during the first couple of semesters here. And one of the things that we asked them was to identify Canvas course sites that they found to be particularly useful or well-designed. In the survey, a number of students identified Dr. Tom Nekiba's Econ 101 course as one of these sites. We got a couple of images of his site here. Let's see. Whoops, sorry. Okay, yes. On the course site homepage, Dr. Nekiba provides basic course information like meeting times, a link to the syllabus, course policies. You can see that the course menu over on the left-hand side is very simple with only just a few small items. And if you go to the next slide, you'll see that when you move into the course modules tool, he's organized the course modules by week. And the modules are organized very simply and consistently, and they place all the important course materials in one place so that students don't have to go digging through multiple Canvas tools to find what they need. And students really, really like this. So let me follow up that little bit by saying that we produced a short video with Dr. Nekiba earlier this summer in which he walks us through this Canvas course site and talks a little bit more about his design choices and why he made those. We're going to share a link to that video with you after the session so that you can learn more and see a site that has proven to be a big hit with students. Okay, so talking a little bit now about how you get help with Canvas. The process is very different from how it was with Sakai, where OIT and Learning Innovation provided all support. Canvas includes extensive help documentation within the platform itself. And if you need additional help beyond the documentation, we now have 24/7 live support for faculty, students, and staff. So how do you find this help in Canvas? So on the course navigation menu, which is that blue strip on the left side of the site page, there's a button labeled Help at the very bottom. That takes you to Canvas's help documentation window where you can search for a topic or browse through a curated list of common topics. And if you find that you need more help after looking through that documentation, you can scroll to the bottom of that window where you'll find two buttons. I think the next slide show those. That connects you to Canvas's 24/7 live support, either through your phone or through online chat. And we expect that this new support structure is going to lead to much quicker resolution of any problems that you might encounter. All right, if you need help with designing your Canvas course or have questions that are less technical in nature, what do you do? So the first is our 25-minute one-on-one Zoom sessions, which are sessions that you can sign up for if you've learned the Canvas basics, but find that you could still use a little help figuring out the best way to work with your own specific course content within Canvas. Again, these sessions are only 25 minutes, which really isn't sufficient time to learn to use Canvas from scratch. They're really designed to help you work through questions that arise as you're putting your own course sites together. And finally, for quick questions of a similar nature where you don't need a full 25 minutes, you can drop into Lyle's open online office hours. And those are offered throughout the year, every Monday from 1 to 3, and every Thursday from 10 to noon. No registrations required, just pop on by. All right, and I think I'm turning it back over to you, Michael.
That's correct. Yeah, I want to highlight some external tools in Canvas. I mentioned earlier that integrations with external tools was a key reason we are moving to this platform. Really excited to say that the team has worked really hard over the past year to more than double the amount of integrations. We have over 20 now currently available to everyone across Duke. And these are a big part of folks' Canvas experience. These were, we had over 275,000 launches or page views of these external tools last year. There's a couple of new ones I'd like to highlight. The first of which, we're so excited to have partnered with Duke Libraries for library course reserves in Canvas. It's using the Leganto tool, and it's available currently for courses in Divinity, the Graduate School, Nicholas School, Pratt, Sanford, and Trinity. And we'll be working with the library if we need to kind of expand that further. This tool lets instructors add or request content provided by Duke Libraries. And this is part of the libraries switching their catalog system to Alma. And so you might hear, you know, these things, Leganto, Alma, or Ex Libris is the vendor that the libraries are working with. All of that is, you know, related to the library course reserves. The second thing I want to highlight is that Canvas acquired Lucid software, which makes the Lucid Chart and Lucid Spark tools, which you may have used. And so those are now available in Canvas with an integration free of charge. And so you're welcome to start using those. And then the third kind of group that I want to highlight are we've increased the amount of publisher integrations or publisher content integrations. And so if you're using one of those publishers, you might be able to get more out of them with a Canvas integration than you could previously. And something I am really excited to say is actually no longer coming soon. We launched this about 30 minutes ago, and it's a new section of the go.canvas website around external tools. And so here you'll find a listing of all the currently active as well as the in process or denied, sorry, not approved tools that we've investigated. And so here's a list of, and it's got some information about each tool there. There's also a request a tool form that is now available. So if you have a tool that's not listed and you're interested in trying it out, please submit one of these request a tool forms, and our team will work with you to investigate that. The tool integration process requires a security review, privacy review, and accessibility review. It's a very robust process, and it has to meet other requirements and approvals as well. So we recommend that you allow substantial time for those reviews to happen. So if you want to use something for spring, now would be the right time to be thinking about that. So we have ample time to get that ready for you for spring. And also, you know, the listing that I put up there was things that are available campus-wide. If you need something specific for your department or your class, we can do that for you as well. And so you don't have to think, oh, I have to get something that's applicable to everyone at Duke. If you have a real specific need still, please submit the request a tool and we can work with you for something just for your class. And that is all we had prepared for you today.